Hello, ineffable being. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful, magical day. I want to tell you that you are a genius. You are special. You mean the world, and you are loved. Today we're discussing this is it. I've done this topic previously, and this is number 2. This is it. What are we discussing? So, frankly, this video is probably more a vlog than my typical topics. And the reason being is because, well, for one, this is video 173, which is amazing. 173 different topics, almost not quite half of a year, but right around that time. So, what is the end result? Is something that we discussed on the previous topic. And if you've been listening to these videos, then you know that what this channel is about is living through the heart. Living through the heart. Cultivating an elevated emotion. So I want to ask you, and I want to say that this video is for two different reasons. One, it's for all of my ineffable family. Every person that's joined a masterclass, that's going through the mentorship, that has been following these videos. And for the second is a vote of inspiration and motivation for those of you that do not yet understand what it means to live through the heart. For those of you that don't understand what it means to consciously affect your biochemistry. So if you're on the later side, right, then this video might come off as arrogant. This video you may not understand. But quite frankly, I believe it is important, and the root here is, if we want a synopsis of what we're going to discuss today, is what do you do when you have everything? What do you do when you have everything? When you've figured it out? When you at least feel that you have figured it out? So again, sounds very arrogant. But let's dive into it. So, to my conscious family and my ineffable family and to all the viewers, how much of your day are you happy? And I ask this because, frankly, a lot of people, before they go through the training, before they understand what it means to live through their heart, being happy 100% of your day isn't even a reality, isn't even a dream. People dream rather of $1 billion, a Grammy, and frankly, something that's so easy, that's inside of us, that, the chemical factory that we have inside of us, and the ability to be happy 24/7, to create pleasantness within, is such a reality that, I mean, it's so deep inside of you, and it's so readily available to all of us that, on the flip side, it's not a reality for many people, because they'll say, well, yeah, sure, I wake up good in my day, and I stub my toe, and I kind of go down that road for a couple hours, and, I'm drinking my coffee finally, so I'm relaxed, but then I'm driving to work, someone cuts me off, I give them the finger, and, I'm fired up, right? I want to burn them up, and I get to work, and, some people push my emotional buttons. So this is kind of most people's lives. So it's easy to say that we live in neutral, right? And what I'm saying is, if you get a vehicle and it's standard, you put it in neutral. You take this car, you take off the brake, the car's on, you take off the brake, and you put it on a flat street. Where is this car going to move? Nowhere. Okay, we take the same car, same situation, except now we put it on a hill. Where is this car going to move? Well, it's going to go down the hill. Many of us, we live life like this. Your internal environment is the exact reflection of your external environment. Again, your external environment affects and is creating your internal environment. So someone cuts you off. Your coworkers are pushing your emotional buttons. You don't get what you want in life, so now you're upset. Now there's stress hormones. Now there's sadness. So, and I say this with an open heart. And I invite you, if you want to know what it means to affect your biochemistry consciously, what it means to live through the heart, get on a masterclass. They're free. I have a mentorship. So, to my ineffable family, I want to tell you that this is it. And this does, and it's okay if I sound arrogant, then you should be happy to know that you can feel good regardless of what is going on outside of your life, outside. Because what anybody wants, and let me tell you, let me be frank with you, what more do you want than to be happy? Now, I hear you. Well, there's money. Okay, there's money. But if I take the money away, then what? If you want a car, fine, that's great. I want a car too. I love Rolls Royce. It's my favorite vehicle. You take that away from me, now what? If I am not living through the heart. And we see that living through the heart means upregulating your genes. Your life is your genetic expression. If you feel good emotionally, your thoughts change. When your thoughts change, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your actions change. When your actions change, the end result of an action is an emotion, and we begin to change our life. So you're like, dude, you're some hippie, humbo, jumbo, tree hugger talking about happiness and happiness and happiness. There's science. Let's look at the placebo effect. Let's look at epigenetics. Let's look at quantum physics. Let's look at neurogenesis, metacognition. Your thoughts and your emotions change an outcome in your life. It's no longer taboo to accept my thoughts and my emotions change my life. Jesus Christ, we're in 2020. And I just said, Jesus, look at his life. We can say that for himself, he lived a happy life. But if you're observing his life, he was tortured. He was, always kind of like the outsider, and he was betrayed, and even to his very last day. Yes, we look at it as love and amazing, but that's just because what he was carrying inside. But never did he let his external environment affect his internal environment. So if you're not with, consciousness, if you're not with living through the heart, cultivating and elevating emotion, then that's more than fine. And I'm not saying Jesus is your savior or your mentor or the most amazing person that has ever lived. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, let's look at the past, let's look at history, let's look at successful people, and then just look at yourself. What is it that you want honestly? If you want help knowing what it is that you want, let's watch my last video, the end result. But I guarantee you that what every human being wants is pleasantness within and pleasantness externally. So what is it when you have that? What is it? Well, once you understand that life happens within, the experience of life is within, the question is, what are you going to create? What are you going to use your brain for? What are you going to use your heart for that is a much greater version of the brain, electromagnetically 60 times more powerful? These are instruments. It's not the brain, it's not the mind, it's not consciousness, it's not, hippie or guru bump. No, we're in the Western world. We're advanced, but we're still scared of the brain and we're still scared of the heart. You really think you're advanced? You really think like you're cool because you have the newest iPhone and you have the iWatch and your whole home is like can speak to you and like that's it for you and you're just amazing? The reason, I like iPhone. It's my favorite company. I hope to have a very smart home one day. But the difference is, if you take that all away from me, you take all of my success, all of my belongings, all of my riches right now, you take it away from me. I am still whole inside. So that's what I mean when I say this is it. To live through the heart is the secret. To live through the heart is accessing the seed that Christ or the Buddha it's what the universe left for the human being. We're going through turbulent times with elections and racism and poverty and hunger and famine and corruption. That's to say that life is not pretty, y'all. But what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to turn up every day and, Netflix and chill and look at me, I'm at the, the Hilton, the Ritz-Carlton, I'm in Vegas. Look, I like to do all those things. I want to have fast cars and I have the blueprints of the dream house that I want and it's a 50,000 square foot house. That's more than an acre. But the difference is, you give me nothing, but I am everything. Because I know how to affect my biochemistry consciously. So to all my family members, my ineffable people living through the heart, creating an elevated emotion, I want to tell you you're not alone. And I understand that it seems like we're alone because you have a different filter. You understand what I'm saying. You understand what it means. Take away my Rolex. Here you go. It's not that we don't like material things. It's not that, oh, you're a tree hugger and you should just meditate. It's not that. But we just understand that your brain and your heart, all it is an instrument. Well, how do they operate? I'm going a little over, but just to nail in the topic here. There's constantly creating impulses. Your external environment is affecting and creating your personality, your life, if you're not waking up to a vision of the future. Because every place you go, every situation, every person, everything is creating a neurological network in your brain. And depending on the emotional quotient of X, Y, and Z, determines the impact it's going to have moving forward. So again, living through the heart is the answer. Living through the heart is what the Bible talks about, the little seed. If we don't want to talk about that, we want to look at it more scientifically. Well, the heart is our connection to all that is. It's our connection to the astral, the other realms of life. Why do I say this? I'm not even into all that stuff. But it's quite frankly, it's obvious. If we look at how you were built, we got the sperm and then we got the egg and they combined and now you're a single cell organism and that duplicates once, twice, now there's 5 cells. And once there's 5 cells, these 5 cells, it creates a toroidal field and that is your heart. So literally, your heart was created from like non-physical things. And your heart is a much greater instrument than your brain. I use my brain all the time, okay? Like, use your brain, use your heart. And for us that are feeling like we do have the answers, at least for my life, I may not have it for you, but hey, I know how to be happy and I know how to create success and I know how to create loving relationships and so forth and so on. What does this mean? Am I an arrogant now? I don't know. Put down in the comments, am I arrogant? But the end result of living through the heart, whenever you can say this is it, and whenever you feel confident, like, you know what? I like this. I like my life. I'm happy like this. And I can maintain my life. Then there's 2 things. Gratitude and continuation. I can't express it. I'm going to do another video about gratitude because this video is already long enough. But that is the end result. You decide continuation because you see the other side of not living like this through the heart, and there's so much gratitude. I drink water. I give gratitude for every little thing. I give gratitude for. I heard something about the Jews. They're like, there's a prayer for everything. There's a prayer to get in the car. There's a prayer before you eat. There's a prayer before you. That's what I heard about the Jewish people. And I've also heard, similar things from the Catholics. I heard, they have the rosary and do the rosary like 10 times a day and, before this, before that. Look, I don't associate myself with any one religion, but the thing is, gratitude is the biggest way to receive. When you're grateful, you're sending the signal that A, thank you, and B, of receiving. Gratitude is the ultimate level vibration of receiving. Because only when you're happy and content with what you have, you can possibly create and receive more. So, again, this topic is this is it. I do believe firmly, and I will die believing it and saying it, living through the heart is the key that is in every old text. That's what is said by not ever being said. So to those of you that are living through the heart, creating the life that you want, just remember the continuation and gratitude is the most important thing. And for those of you that don't understand what it means to live through the heart, who don't even, who think I'm crazy for saying, you can consciously affect your biochemistry, be happy 100% of the day, then two things. I invite you to do your own investigation. And then also, join me on a masterclass this Saturday, the last Saturday of this month. So you can dive deep into the mystical world of what it means to create an elevated emotion ahead of the actual experience. And I'm also going to share all the science behind it. From great scientists, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, we're going to talk neurogenesis, metacognition, the placebo effect, so much more. I love you, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe, and also put down in the comments what topics would you like for me to cover in the future. I hope to see you on the side of light. Goodbye.